Hey people, thanks for clicking on the video. Thanks for coming back to the channel. So in honor of my 38th year marriage anniversary next month, I'm doing five videos that revolve around marriage. Now this is number 3. I'll link the playlist at the end of this video. So in case you want to watch it, you can watch it. But in today's video, we're talking about money and marriage. Yeah, money. Yeah, it's that one topic that most newlywed couples, they don't want to talk about, but it's important that they do. I've read stories where, you know, they get married and then they find out that their spouse has a $50,000 student loan debt that they haven't been paying on. And you know what they say? Your debt is my debt. Yeah, that's not a good thing for a new marriage, a new couple. Or there are couples where you come to the marriage and you have $20,000 saved up, hard earned, penny by penny for a long period of time. And now you're in the marriage, and you know what they say? My money is your money. And soon that 20K disappears. Why? Because we didn't talk about money. That's never a good thing. But you know what they say? It might be love that makes the marriage and the world go around, but it's money that pays off the bills. So we're going to talk about 5 things that I think revolve around money that help marriage couples thrive, whether you're newlywed or you're like myself, way up there in age. So let's get into it. Number 1, talk about money early and often. They say that if you're silent about money, that could be more dangerous than debt itself. Yeah, you have to have those conversations. We already gave you 2 examples about what might happen if you enter into a marriage and you don't disclose all your financials. Yeah, you can caught off guard. Big surprise. All right, it could turn the love of your life into the person that you hate the most. So you want to talk about money early and often, right? Early wise, those couples that thrive are the ones that talk about, how they're going to save and how they're going to spend, right? And they start to make plans. But even later in life, like myself, you still have to talk about money with your spouse, because even if you think you have more money than you need, one day you can wake up and all that money can be gone. And that's going to be a bad surprise to your spouse. So talk about money early and often. Number 2, build a shared vision. So thriving couples, they just don't merge their bank account. They merge their dreams. They could be dreaming about that first house they're going to buy. Or maybe it's a vacation that they always wanted to go on. Or maybe it's that baby or babies. Babies, kids, they're expensive. And maybe it's retirement, and it's never too early to start planning for retirement. Takes a lot of money to do that. And before I go anywhere else, let me say something about bank accounts, because, a lot of couples, they don't want to merge their bank accounts. They want to keep their own account and have their spouse keep his own account or her own account. And that's a recipe for disaster. It's almost like, having separate phones or separate phone plans. My phone is mine. I can do whatever I want, talk to whoever I want, and you can't look at mine and see what I'm doing. Yeah, that never ends well. Merge everything. It is a marriage, ain't it? And then, when you reach our age, you often think that, well, sharing a shared version, or vision, that's over. Nope, it ain't over, because you still have a lot more to plan, right? You got to have a vision of what happens when you die. Who's going to bury me? How do I want to be buried? Do I want to be cremated? There's a whole lot of planning that goes into that, as well as, how does the other one take care of themselves and continue to live the same lifestyle, right? So in my family, I worry about that a lot. because my wife is 8 years younger than me. And so I'm probably going to be the first to go, and I'm the breadwinner, right? I make the money. And so I got to do certain things to make sure that my wife is going to be taken care of when I go, that she's not going to have to worry about money. So that takes a lot of planning, a lot of focus. So money, when it's tied to a shared vision for the future, that's always good. So number 3, divide and conquer, but stay transparent. So some couples split the bills 50-50. You pay all these bills and I'll pay all those bills, and collectively we'll put X amount of dollars into a savings plan that goes towards that shared vision we talked about earlier, right? With the hopes of buying that first house or having that first baby, or maybe it's that vacation. And for them, that works, and that's good as long as they're transparent. Others do it by a role, right? So it's my job to do the investing, and it's your job to do the daily expenses. And that works for them. For what works in our household simply is, I pay all the bills. Well, majority of the bills are on auto pay, and so they just get paid every month, so there's not much to do there. But shh, don't tell the wife about that. She thinks I'm working very hard on them. And then my wife, well, she runs the grocery account, and the personal accounts that we use to do things, to go out and have fun. And a certain dollar amount is entered into those accounts every month, and that's what she has to spend, or that's what we have to spend. No, that's what she has to spend. But you know what? It works for us, and that's good, right? The whole thing there about divide and conquer is, if it works well for you, great. Just don't be secretive about it. Don't hide money in your account, because one day your spouse will find it. All right, let's go on to the next one. Number 4, practicing financial kindness. So this is probably something that most people overlook. And we're not talking about buying these large, expensive gifts. We're talking about doing things that are more thoughtful, such as, you pick up dinner on your way home just so that your spouse doesn't have to worry about cooking. Or in my case, it's going out and picking up dinner and bringing it home just so that she doesn't have to worry about cooking anything. Yeah, those are great dinners. Or it could be, a lot of times when I go out, I'll pick up her favorite candy, Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. Or maybe it's late at night, 10:30, and we go out because we have a sweet tooth. Go to Sonic and we get our favorite Sonic Blast, Oreo cookies, Oreo cookie blast. Nothing like saying I love you then with an Oreo cookie blast. Yep, that works there. So practicing financial kindness, right? It goes a long way in creating safety and stability and lovingness in your marriage. Number 5, plan for the long game. So marriage is not a marathon, and it's surely not a sprint. Those couples that thrive financially, they're always playing the long game. They're always thinking long term, right? They're always planning for retirement, saving for retirement, talking about estate planning and planning for those things, as well as planning for unexpected situations. So your financial plan doesn't have to be perfect, and it shouldn't be solid. It should be flexible enough that it changes as your shared vision change. Yeah, for us, we're working on building up our emergency cash account so that if something happens, we wake up one morning and our country has gone to poop, we can grab what we need, and we have the necessary monies to go where we need to go and still sustain ourselves. That's the plan. This is Chandler's Retirement Live saying, hey, like those videos? Another one will pop up here Check it out. It's the playlist. And you guys be safe out there. And we'll talk to you later. Lights out.